Okay guys, for the final one, and truly the final one of today's tutorials, we're going to just bring our images in, and I'm going to show you the linked file constraints within InDesign. So go to File, Place, and we're just going to place our images we were working with into InDesign, and I believe, yes, Render Skylight we'll put in. Just click it. I should be at the same scale as we're working with the letter. Yes, great. I'm going to change these to be inches so that we can recognize what's going on. And then you'll start to see that text that I had as the tag in InDesign does look really aliased. Ideally, we should probably be doing this in InDesign. I'll look for some tutorials on how to bring in symbols, but I think if you have your tags associated with your drawings, it may not be too much of an issue for what we're doing for this semester, but I will look into it. In terms of the layers, I'm going to make another layer, call it text, so that we can start to annotate. And then I'm going to lock my image. And this is just as we had done before, developing text. And I need to be on that layer. I'm going to click it here and just call this Surface 01. Change that font to match the one that I had in Illustrator, which was Arial 10 point. And bring it to my line. And I can do the same for here. And bring it down and call it Surface 02. You should have better names for these things in your diagram, like as in wood surface or vertical surface, or something that's better, works better as a label, as in like leg or plate that we have discussed through the diagrams in class. And I need to check to make sure that these guys are aligned to the left side. Even though I think that they are, I'm just going to go up here, and this is where your align tools are, just as they are in Illustrator. So that is fine for this. So to cover the links palette, if we go over to, or the links files, if we go to links, I'm going to pull this off of my tree so you can see. You have the similar options that you have within Illustrator. I'm going to unlock my layer so I can edit it. That's why it was grayed out. So now if I click this guy, you're going to see that there's this 1_ link. That means it's the first file that's linked within the first image that's linked within my file. And then you have a relink option, and then a go-to option, and then there's a directly editable or edit original down here. If I click this, you're going to see that I get some of these options. If by chance you ever move a file or a folder that has all of your files in there, but you still want to keep it a live association, you can click, it'll say that it's damaged. Actually, I'll do this for now. I will move the skylight to my desktop so you'll see what happens. Yes. If I do this, now when I go back to my InDesign, it doesn't know where it's located anymore. So if you click this relink button, it'll prompt you to go find that new path. And if you have a series of these, if you change just a folder, you can relink several of them at one time. Otherwise, you need to go back through and link everyone individually if they're located in random spots. So I would suggest that when you're working with one project, that you keep a diagrams folder where you can quickly link all of the working files within Illustrator and InDesign if necessary. There's no embed option in InDesign. What we do instead is you save your file and you package all of the information that's in there. Because there's going to be multiple files indicated within your InDesign because it's meant for presentations and publications and not just one-off drawings. So if we go here and we call it diagrams tutorial and hit OK or save, we have to always save first, and then if you type in or go down to File and Package, it'll prompt you with what we're going to do. So it's going to put everything that you need within these folders. So even if someone does not have the font that you have or the color scheme that you have, when you give them this file folder, all of that will come through. So for your presentations, if you need to share them with a friend and they need to be a live InDesign file, this is what is necessary to do. So I'm just going to click Package, OK. And then if I go to my desktop, I'm going to have Diagrams Tutorial folder, and you're going to see everything in here. So this is the latest InDesign file. This is my links. This is that one file for the Illustrator, and then the fonts. All of this is duplicate of what I have on my computer. So it takes all of those locations and puts them all to this one spot. You could work in this manner after you've put everything together and then just reference from this folder so that everyone knows the same location for what you're doing. If you just take an InDesign file and pass it to your friend without the links, it won't have a reference for or a path for that image, so therefore it's going to render very pixelated and at the last kind of representation within the typical performance or typical screen mode that it had. So it won't look good and it won't be presentation quality. As the same with your Illustrator file, if you don't embed this, it won't have anything to be referencing within the artwork, so therefore it won't have any of that information there. So I hope this has helped you guys. Thanks and good luck.